Thomas and Friends Storytime. The story of Emily the Clever Engine, starring Emily, Oliver and Sir Topham Hatt's mother, Dowager Hatt. Based on the railway series by the Reverend W. Awdry. Created by Britt Allcroft. Read by Mark Morahan. Welcome to the island of Sodor, a small magical island surrounded by sparkling bright blue sea. It has fields of green and sandy yellow beaches, castles to explore and bustling docks where giant cranes lift and load cargo from large ships. There are also lots and lots of railway lines where engines work hard to deliver goods and passengers to their destinations. Today's story is about Emily the Tender Engine, how she first got her coaches, and how she even helped Dowager Hatt to run the railway. Emily is a beautiful emerald green steam engine with shiny paintwork and gleaming brass fittings. Emily has 2 large driving wheels, which make her very fast. She is clever and brave, good at solving problems, and always gives her friends useful advice. It was a warm summer day when Emily first arrived on the island of Sodor. Sir Topham Hatt was waiting for her at Knapford Station. "Emily, I have some coaches for you," he said. "Please go and collect them." Emily hurried to the yard, but the only coaches Emily's driver could find were Annie and Clarabelle. "These'll do," said the driver. A little while later, Emily met Oliver the green steam engine. Oliver looked surprised when he saw Emily. "Those are Thomas's coaches," he told her. Emily felt bad. She decided she would find Thomas and give Annie and Clarabelle back to him. Emily looked everywhere for Thomas. Then she met Oliver again. But Oliver had broken down on a crossing. Emily was about to go for help when she heard Thomas's whistle. Thomas was racing towards Oliver, and he knew he would never be able to stop in time. But clever Emily knew what to do. She ran forward and pushed Oliver clear of the crossing, just before Thomas sped past. Later at Knapford Station, Emily gave Annie and Clarabelle back to Thomas, and Sir Topham Hatt thanked Emily for rescuing Oliver. "You are a very brave engine," he told her. Then Sir Topham Hatt showed Emily 2 sparkling green coaches. "These are your new coaches," he said. Emily beamed from buffer to buffer. Emily soon made lots of friends on the island of Sodor. She pulled her new green coaches with pride and worked hard to show Sir Topham Hatt how grateful she was. Then one day, Sir Topham Hatt was ill, and his mother Dowager Hatt decided she would run the railway. But running a railway is not that easy, and Dowager Hatt sent all the engines to do the wrong jobs. Percy, the small engine, had to pull Gordon's heavy express coaches, and Gordon had to take Emily's cars of scrap to the scrapyard. "Oh, the indignity," he complained. There was confusion and delay all over Sir Topham Hatt's railway. Emily offered to help. "There are certain engines that are suitable for certain jobs, and certain engines that are not," Emily told Dowager Hatt.
"Oh dear,"
Dowager Hatt said sadly.
"I didn't realize running a railway was going to be so difficult."
So Emily and Dowager Hatt worked together, and soon all the engines were doing their proper jobs again. Gordon pulled the express, Percy pulled the mail train, Emily took scrap to the scrapyard, and Thomas pulled Annie and Clarabelle along his branch line. When Sir Topham Hatt returned to Knapford Station, he was very happy to find his railway running smoothly. "Well done, Mother," he said. But Dowager Hatt didn't take all the credit.
"I couldn't have done it without Emily's help,"
she said. And so from that day on, Emily was known as the Clever Engine. She is a proud member of the steam team and continues to give good advice. The end. Listen out for other adventures with Thomas and Friends Storytime. Thomas and Friends is a registered trademark of Gullane Thomas Limited.